Hello everybody, this is Craig from 9Volt Games, and today I am reviewing Condemned: Criminal Origins. Now, Condemned is the launch title for the 360, and it is the first game that I beat on the Xbox 360. The reason that I'm doing a review for a launch title, this is an older game, is because on my Silent Hill HD collection video, someone told me that there's no survival horror games out anymore. There's no horror. I'm sorry. They said there's no horror games out anymore, and I said, I said you have your new Silent Hills, you have Dead Space, you have Condemned, you have Fear, you have Left 4 Dead, and I did ones that are like a stretch, but I still did horror games. And then someone came on and they said, Left 4 Dead, Fear, and Condemned are as far away from horror as Call of Duty is to JRPGs. And let me tell you what Condemned is actually listed as. Both Condemneds, mind you, are listed as psychological horror games when you go to buy them. I was actually talking online with some fans, and I was saying that Condemned is actually one of the first games in a long time that actually made me jump when I was playing it. It was at the locker scene, for those of you who have played it. And oh, they also said Dead Space wasn't horror. Fuck you. Its name is Dead Valve. DEDVALVE. One word. It's on my Silent Hill HD collection. Go thumb his shit down, by the way. They're going to say this isn't a horror game. This is a horror game, and I'm going to play a little bit for you. Now, obviously it's a launch title, so you can't expect much in the graphics department. Not that that really matters. However, I always say that graphics don't matter. Sometimes in a horror game, it helps to sell the image of what you're seeing. Luckily with Condemned, the whole aspect of horror comes from you don't know exactly what's coming at you and where it's coming at you, because they had this tricky thing, and it was great in Condemned, and it was new at the time, obviously not new now. Enemies would run around a level just to get behind you, and just to they would pop out real quick, they'd take a swing at you, and then they'd run back and they would disappear. And then all of a sudden you'd cut a corner and they'd whack you in the face or something. Now, here's where the survival aspect comes in. And this is another brief thing I'll do. In the first Condemned, guns aren't shit. You have your guns for like 5 to 10 shots, and they're useless. Most of the time, as you can see in the shit in the background, you're doing melee. Everything is just rip a pipe off the wall, and that's your weapon. Now, I personally like games like that. I think that's great. But if that's not your cup of tea, then it's not. It's not a first-person shooter. It is a first-person survival horror. That's the way it is. Not a first-person shooter. So, let's get into it. The story is great, by the way. And I will say this, that if you do go back and play this game, because it's fairly cheap now, if you ever go back and play Condemned, don't get excited for 2. Because 2 was not as good as 1. 2 had one of the freakiest moments in gaming history, in my opinion, with the bear in the cabin. Yeah, for those of you who beat it. The cabin, holy shit. But this game is all together. I mean, the final boss of this was awesome. But let's just do a new game. I'll just show you, obviously, at the beginning, because I really am an advocate for this. I want you guys to play this game. You can get this for under $10. The only thing I didn't like about it is that this game doesn't have 1,000 gamer score. I'm just going to skip the video, I'm sorry. If I can. Hey, I can't. The whole point of the game is that you're chasing a serial killer. But while you're chasing this serial killer, your inner demons are coming out and manifesting themselves. And it's pretty cool. It's made by the people who made Fear. So, except Fear is published by what? Warner Brothers, and Condemned is published by Sega. That's the only real differences we got going on here. Ethan is one of the more badass video game characters, by the way. Ethan's the protagonist.
Thomas, I don't got all day here. Let's get a move on.
Oh, this is the other plus of this game. My wife had sat down and watched this entire game played. My wife doesn't like video games. I'm sorry, she's very selective. She'll play a dungeon crawler
People
with
are
me.
scared. We need to get this one. Follow me. Body's this way.
Alright. So, some of the aspects in this game are, aside from the combat, there are detective parts.
Come on, let's go. Body's rotting as we speak. The patrolman on duty said there was a mannequin involved, just like the matchmaker. Damn city's crawling with sick killers. Why do they always have to kill in such maggot-infested dumps? Why can't they pick a nice spot without addicts and gang members for once? Someplace not so damn dark.
Just move, dude. Oh.
Really shot the bastard. Come on, this place is creeping.
That shit happens a lot. You'll be walking by a rack and all of a sudden this shit just fucking falls on you. And it was a crackhead. Oh, dude, you move so fucking slow.
Your stupid car broke my light.
Oh.
Turn yours on. I hear you're afraid of the dark.
114, report in. Have the feds arrived?
Becker here. FBI on the scene. Over and out.
Copy that.
Move your ass out of my way.
Agent Thomas, this is Officer Becca. Becca found the body on patrol.
Agent?
Good job, Becca. Now move it. And then you have to do forensics for this part because they want you to identify the victim. There we go.
Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. This is Lieutenant Rosa. I'm your lab tech again on this one. Our wireless data transfer system enables you to investigate and collect evidence at the scene of the crime and transmit it to me for analysis. When I have results, I'll contact you via your cell phone. All right, let's get to work. Let's start by determining the cause of death. When your instincts tell you evidence is nearby, prepare a forensic tool. The system will select the correct tool for you, so don't worry about that. Use the UV light on the corpse and find the trauma point. It'll glow a bright purple. Just a sec. Strangled by hand. Very forceful. Finger marks clear, except bruise intensity indicates the killer's right-handed and missing the index finger on that hand. There must be something more. Something we're not seeing.
Oh, these mannequins, man. They fucking haunt you through the entire game. Especially, one at the warehouse. Oh.
Run the laser light over the crime scene, and if there's evidence, it will show up a bright green.
Hey, Becca, get the lights. The agent's laser works better in the dark.
Processing image. That's it. The same mark.
Exact same MO as the others?
It's the work of a guy we've been calling the matchmaker. Kills young women violently, poses them in grisly tableau with male department store mannequins. Mannequin always slightly disfigured by a mark on the face.
Any luck on the mug book searches? I bet the killer has the same mark.
No luck so far.
Becker, no smoking at a crime scene. around smoke. Well, someone was. It's coming from in here. Dang it. I can smell the cigarette smoke.
He's right above us. Call for backup now.
This is Officer Becker. We need backup immediately. 4th and Start. Potential homicide
Alright,
suspect.
so I can show you a little bit of
still in
combat before I end the video.
Officers are on their way. ETA 10 minutes.
I love this. Somebody yells back at you.
Becker and I will head up the fire escape. You wait here for backup. Shit. Okay, now he's playing with us. Change of plans. Becker, secure that door. Thomas, check out the building and get these lights back on.
All clear, Agent.
Sooner we finish up here, the better. Let's go. Oh, and for Christ's sake, be careful.
Agent Thomas, Officer Becker. I don't know if they're on a new drug.
Thomas, Dickinson, there's one coming your way. Addict amped up on something.
Federal agent, come out peacefully or I will use force.
Oh, yes. The city's full of them now, Thomas. Addicts, vagrants, psychotic individuals gone terribly bad. They come in all kinds, but mostly violent. Be careful.
And then from here on out, it becomes that. Exactly what it is. Gun, like I said, the gun becomes useless. At the point that it runs out of ammo, it tells you you gotta grab something off the wall. And that's it. But like that guy who ran after me later on in the game, that guy will have a buddy. And they will both run around somewhere and try and sandwich you. But, you know, you get the basic gist of the story. I could have started at the halfway point where the battles were more exciting, but I really don't want to ruin it for you. I really want people to go out and try this game. And I want that kid to eat his own fucking words because he's never played Condemned. Maybe he played Condemned 2, which I will admit was not good. That was more of a straight-up action game with less of the horror. But Condemned Criminal Origins definitely has it in the horror department, and I suggest it to any fan of horror games. Thank you guys for watching.